Sytonnia Live with SportsWire Magazine. We are getting ready for some real live NBA action. The Hawks up against the Charlotte Hornets, and of course, we're expecting a lot of heavy play tonight, but Atlanta did really good in New York City, but they didn't get in until 2:30 a.m. this morning. Unlike Charlotte, who had 24 hours to rest up, but do not underestimate the Hawks. Al Horford said in New York they played with a lot of edge, and they expect to bring that right back here inside Phillips Arena. And of course, doing something a little bit different tonight, Coach Bud is putting Jeff Teague and Dennis Schroeder together in the backcourt, so expect a lot of speed going down right there. And Charlotte may not want to worry about offense too much. They might want to get back on defense a whole lot more, all right? So we got it all coming up right here. Sytonnia Live with SportsWire Magazine inside Phillips Arena. Let's get to the game. Sytonnia Live inside Phillips Arena with SportsWire Magazine. It is halftime, and of course, the Atlanta Hawks trying to continue what they started last night in New York City. They are ahead 53-52, but the crazy thing is, of course, Coach Bud started Jeff Teague and Dennis Schroeder in the backcourt together tonight for the very first time, and it would be Dennis Schroeder who outscored, well, actually he's tied with Kent Bazemore and Paul Millsap. They all have 10 points. Jeff Teague, of course, and Al Horford just coming in with 6 in the first half, so we'll see what happens in the second half, but Dennis Schroeder coming out with a lot of strength, a lot of quickness, and of course, a lot of shots. So we'll see how it goes in the second half. Hopefully the Hawks can keep this rhythm going. The chemistry seems good, and they seem fired up. You wouldn't know that they didn't get into town until 2:30 a.m. this morning. They didn't have a shoot around. They came straight to the game, so it seems to be working for them. So let's get ready for the third and fourth quarter, okay? Sytonnia Live, SportsWire Magazine, inside Phillips Arena.
Yeah, I mean, they had no timeouts left, so I think the execution was okay. I think Paul knows that we probably want a different pass to Al, especially given that they have no timeouts and everything. But it's a good learning experience for both myself and the whole group. And there's the job of the inbounder that's a very difficult spot. So I think to have Paul in that spot is something we feel great about.
I think it was more fatigue than anything. We played a tough game last night against a very physical New York Knicks team. A lot of banging, and then got in late last night and right back at it. But it's what you sign up for, and it says a lot about us. Gutting it out. It wasn't a pretty win, but I think our defense was good when it needed to be, and we got the job done.
Let's focus on some of the positives. The end of the third quarter, you guys finish up strong, build the lead up to 7, make it double digits in the fourth. What was really going on then?
We're just clicking on all cylinders. We got a deal we call Hawk Cycle, where we get stops and we get buckets. We get stops, we get buckets. So we had a lot of that going, and we're a very dangerous team when we can put that together for over 48 minutes. But tonight, Coach was, he understood. He just said, just be better than them, longer than them. So that's what we did.
And what changed down the stretch for you guys?
I think the experience of a bunch of guys that run last year, us playing in those pivotal games late in the year, is really helping us late game, finishing games, closing out games, and making the right plays to get wins.
A couple of different looks. No Kyle Korver resting the ankles, so Dennis Schroeder starts in the backcourt along with Jeff Teague. Talk to me a little bit about what you saw from Dennis.
Dennis is special, man. He's a catalyst off the bench, but that's the beauty about this team. You can throw any guy in any spot, and they're gonna bring what they're gonna bring, and he's going, we're going. He picks up guys full court, changes the tempo of the game, and that's what we need from him.
With no Kyle, we also need to see some three-pointers made. So for yourself, you're equal to career high making for them. How about that part of your game?
Oh well, I borrowed Kyle's jumper, since he was sitting out tonight. So, but no, I've been working on my jumper since last September, and it's just starting to show. You know, I'm more confident in it, and you know, just letting it fly.
I know you want to win against any team, but you're from North Carolina. Does it feel a little special?
Of course, man. Of course. Anytime you beat the team from your state, and you know, it's always a special moment.
Of course, a big celebration going on in the Hawks locker room, but right now let's enter inside the Hornets locker room and see how they feel.
We're just trying to go out and make some things happen for our team. You know, that's where my role is right now. I got to go out there and make plays and add when I'm in, and that's what I try to do, and was able to make a couple plays.
Do you feel in the practices that you've had that, you know, the time you've had with this team since Labor Day that you're making progress, is getting on the same page and doing things you need to do?
Yeah, I think I've been progressing pretty well here. You know, I'm understanding the concepts better, learning the offense better, and starting to realize where I can get my stuff on offense and where everybody on the team needs to be on offense and on defense.
Sytonnia Live, SportsWire Magazine. Man, what a game. Jonathan from Real Talk Sports. They did it. The Hawks seem to be finding their rhythm and a chemistry, and of course, for the first time, Jeff Teague and Dennis Schroeder in the backcourt together. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, a huge change for the Hawks to have both those guys in at the same time. We've seen that from time to time during the season on special occasions, but tonight actually a start. Also meant moving Kent Bazemore to the small forward slot. And unlike the first game, when he seemed a little unsettled, only 5 points, today 19 points, 9 rebounds, and more importantly, 4 or 5 from three-pointers. So he stepped up.
Yeah, he joked in the locker room post-game that he picked up where Cal was out. He was inactive tonight, so he had a little bit of Corver rub off on him.
Absolutely. Yeah, and really, that's the key to this Hawk team. I mean, it's really the whole concept you hear all the time, next man up. Hawks showed it today with guys being out. And I want to see if I can maybe ask Coach this question next time. What's going on with Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Right, because he has yet to hit the court. I mean, I'm wondering as well, like he's still on the did not play list. I'm trying to figure out why he's not playing. I mean, maybe he's just not ready, or maybe there's still some stuff to get him into the system exactly. But that is a big question. Why isn't Junior playing?
Yeah, you think this is the guy they brought in to be a defensive stopper, also a big three-point specialist as well. We saw that in the preseason. But as of yet, young Mr. Hardaway has not played.
He has not, and that's catching everyone's attention. And at the rate we're going, he may not for a while. I expect to see him next game, but then again, you don't know.
Well, Cal Corver, I mean, you're going to need some extra minutes. You certainly want to put all this on Kent Bazemore because he's still getting acclimated to the idea of being a starter full-time. So I think we're going to see more minutes from him. Not sure. Maybe he's in the coach's doghouse, but we'll see real soon.
With Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
Definitely. And one more shout out to Kent Bazemore because he led all scorers tonight with those 19 points, and Paul Millsap pulling down a double-double. He had 10 rebounds himself, 18 points. Al Horford, 18 points. So good showing for the Hawks.
Yeah, overall, Hawks are great. We still have a small problem, though, on the boards. If you look at the front court of Charlotte out-rebounded them 36-25. They're the big man against our 3 big men. So that's still a problem. Overall, 54-45 rebounds, edge. So you got to really kind of step that up, I think.
And the perimeter, they've got to defend that a little bit more because Charlotte put up, I think, 33s tonight. Not that they made them all, of course, but the fact that they had that many open shots from around the perimeter is ridiculous.
What's the problem? Because, 50% shooting in game 1 that we saw here by in that game. So it's a situation where we don't want to get into a position where we're having 2 big problems. Obviously, not defending the perimeter and not being able to get those key rebounds, especially. You got to find a way to limit the offensive rebounds by the other team.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. They play the Hornets again on Charlotte's turf, so it should be pretty interesting, but I think our boys can do it. I
think it's going to be a lot of fun. Always good to have these back-to-back matchups. We saw that with Detroit. Didn't fare too well for us as we lost both of those games, both the preseason and regular season. But hopefully we'll be able to do the same thing against Charlotte, sweeping them in the first 2 games. So, of course, we'll be watching.
We will. Go Hawks. All right, you guys, stick around. We have lots more post-game action coming up in just a little bit. Sytonnia Live from Phillips Arena, SportsWire Magazine. Thank you, Jonathan.
And thanks for having me.